So hello everyone, thanks for joining us for today's free webinar hosted by Prevention Plus Wellness LLC located here in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. I hope it's nice where you're at and you're all safe and healthy. And today's topic, as you can see, is building resilient youth by strengthening multiple health behaviors. So this is a brand new webinar, first time that we're presenting it. Resiliency is certainly a very important topic for today, for youth, for adults, for everyone. And I think it's very relevant for all of us, including healthcare providers, which you'll see in just a few minutes. So, as always, by the way, I'm Dr. Chudley Wirch, and I'm CEO and founder of Prevention Plus Wellness. So, as always, I will be sharing with you a recording of today's webinar and the slides and a CEU certificate for 1 hour. So no need to reach out to me. I'll be reaching out to you later today with a link so you can access these things. So no worries, no problem. So if you want to take a look, just take a moment. I'm going to because I really always enjoy this, seeing who's on today and where they're calling in from. And by the way, this is your hour, your time, so you can do whatever you want with it. But if you participate, I think it'll be a little bit more rewarding. In fact, today, unlike in the previous webinars, we're not going to have a poll in the beginning, but instead, I'm going to ask you to see if you can come up with some creative solutions to the problems that I'll be raising. So we'll be inviting you to interact on the or in the chat space as we go along throughout today's webinar. So you can see people are calling in from beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, and Tennessee. And thank you again, all of you, for signing in and for introducing yourselves and telling us where you're from. Poke prevention and recovery. I didn't see where that's from necessarily. We got people saying yes, they can hear, they can see. Thank you for that. Thank you all for that. And we've got, again, people calling in from Centerstone and Christopher. I'm looking for actually locations, if you don't mind. Nashville, awesome. And Mount Vernon, cool. We've got people from Georgia and Alabama and Michigan, Idaho. This is really, really, again, I just love seeing this. Maine. I was up in Maine about a month or so ago for the first time. Very cool. Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, actually, PA, and Wisconsin, where I grew up, and St. Augustine, Florida, where I am living. And we've got Michigan again. And you can see these as I go along. More Michigan people, which is great. More PA people. Looks like NE, that's not New Hampshire. It's, yeah, New Hampshire, NE. Why am I blocking on that? Tell me where that is, Sarah. NE. Oh, that's Nebraska. I'm sorry. New York, thank you. Michigan again, South Carolina, great. California, all the way out there. Again, South Carolina, Connecticut, Virginia. Anyway, I could go on. Look at, and I am going to go on. Arkansas, Austin, Texas. So thank you guys for signing. We better get going. Otherwise, we'll be spending the whole time looking at where you're at. So let's jump in right and look at the objectives for today's webinar. So first of all, you'll be able to describe resilience and its benefits and its relationship to healthy behaviors, primarily for youth. And then secondly, you'll be able to explore together with us, all of us to get together research, which links healthy behaviors, particularly physical activity, sleep, nutrition and relaxation to resilience and look at the benefits of these healthy behaviors. And then lastly, this is where I'm going to be asking you to participate. Can you come up with some creative strategies for prevention professionals, for all of us, to increase healthy behaviors, to enhance youth resilience, mental health, physical health, performance, and happiness? So I'm going to be pausing throughout today's webinar and see if you can come up with some ideas. So hopefully you can participate. And if those ideas look good, which I'm sure they will, I'll try to capture those and share those with everyone today. So it's going to be more interactive today's session than in previous webinars. So what is resilience? That's where we're going to start. The American Psychological Association defines resilience, as you can see the quote there, the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or even significant sources of threat. So if you reflect on that definition of resiliency, I think it'll come to mind immediately that we are all, given today's circumstances in our country and in our world, we are all in need of resilience and resiliency. We all need to develop this further for our children, for ourselves, for us as healthcare providers. This is a critical component of health, well-being, and just survival, if you will. So resilience is a protective factor against mental health problems in particular. So that's resilience. What are its benefits? Well, here's another quote. Resilience is the extent to which we can bounce back from adverse events, to cope with stress, which we all experience, and to succeed in the face of adversity. You know, you're not born with resilience. It's innate characteristic. It's something that's developed. It's a process that includes family and community, cultural backgrounds, and of course, our own psyche. And it boosts wellness and protects you from risk. So resiliency is absolutely critical to mental health and well-being. And it's a tool for controlling stress, but also tapping into our strengths and our protective factors. So real benefits from resilience, as you'll see as we go along. Healthy behaviors and resilience, what's the relationship? A healthy body and mind is one that's able to deal with stress, regular physical activity, mindful eating, adequate sleep, and tools, behavioral tools to control stress in individuals better equip those individuals to cope with stress and adversity, and to promote positive emotions and a sense of well-being, all components of resilience. So we're going to be discussing all of that today. Healthy behaviors and burnout. Now, this is specific to you as healthcare providers, as prevention and substance abuse specialists. Well-being, in other words, healthy behaviors, may promote resilience, which can protect against burnout. And emotional thriving and emotional recovery, in a particular study, which is shown right here, were significantly higher among healthcare providers who reported more well-being or healthy behaviors. So these researchers concluded that engaging in healthy habits could be a solution for increasing resilience in healthcare workers. So as you'll notice at the bottom of this slide, and you'll see this in most of the slides, there's a link. So when I send you today a link to go to our website and access these slides, you'll be able to also access this additional information, the source of these studies and resources. So these slides are a great resource for everyone. A little bit about resiliency in child health behaviors. Studies have shown that there's an association between resiliency and health behaviors. This actually looked at national data of children from ages 0 to 17, found that the development of protective health behaviors in childhood reduce the risk of disease throughout the lifespan. So resiliency and healthy behaviors are closely linked, they're correlated, they're associated, and that relationship is bidirectional. In other words, as resiliency goes up, healthy behaviors improves, and if we can improve healthy behaviors, that can also enhance resiliency. And that's what we're talking about primarily, the direction from healthy behaviors as a tool to increase resiliency among youth and adults. So we're going to look at these healthy behaviors. We're going to start, first of all, with resiliency and physical activity. We're going to look at the research. We're going to look at what we can take away from what role does physical activity play with regard to resilience. So first of all, physical activity and resilience. Just start out with generically, physical activity is believed to promote psychological resilience. There's a link between resiliency, mental health, and physical activity. And physical activity routinely, regularly, might help people be more mentally resilient. And again, at the bottom of the slide, you'll see a link to this particular study for more information. Physical activity and brain resilience. Resilience to brain diseases are sometimes described by researchers as a brain or cognitive reserve. A brain cognitive reserve is a description of resilience of the brain. Exercise interventions have been associated with cognitive improvement and stress resilience. Exercise recovers or minimizes cognitive deficits, increases neuroplasticity of the brain and cognitive reserve. Also, exercise counteracts brain pathology. So it works at different levels, the exercise does it in terms of brain resiliency. And the conclusion is that aerobic fitness in particular was one of the best indicators of one's brain resilience. Aerobic activity, aerobic fitness is one of the best indicators of brain resiliency. I wanted to say that twice so that you could reflect on that and see the importance of physical activity and resiliency, particularly resiliency from a cognitive perspective. How about physical activity and stress resilience? Physical activity and fitness play a protective role in stress. Muscular exercise and self-perceived fitness were positively associated with resiliency to stress. So fitness and resulting self-efficacy, proficient self-efficacy or self-efficacy expectancies related to physical activity have been complementary benefits of promoting mental health. So you've got physical activity, then you've got these expectations associated with those, they have efficacy, confidence in doing those physical activities, in this case, muscular physical activity, and that it has been shown to be associated with mental health. Another study or more research on exercise and resilience shows that exercise is strongly correlated with resilience. And then during the pandemic, during COVID-19, it moderated resilience. So in other words, those who exercise less likely, exercise were more likely to have resilience and address and deal with the stress from COVID. So exercise levels increases one's resilience, and during times of stress, including great stress like or pandemic stress like during the COVID COVID-19 pandemic, exercise was really critical for individuals to address and deal with that stress. Physical activity and psychological resilience in teens. The health of young people. I love this first statement under number one. The health of young people is crucial for the future development of a nation. That's just a fascinating and fantastic statement. The health of young people is crucial for the future and development of a nation. So just think about that, and it really highlights the absolute importance that we must place on our young people being physically active. And this study showed that physical exercise behavior can enhance psychological resilience of adolescents by diminishing social sensitivity and augmenting the need to belong. So there are these greater outcomes from physical activity other than just direct mental or physical outcomes, maybe even through mechanisms such as the need to belong and and reducing social sensitivity. So great outcomes to physical activity for resilience among teens. How about physical activity and quality of life? Physical activity is linked to enhancing health behaviors, mental health, and psychological resilience through quality of life. So quality of life may be a moderating factor. So physical activity may increase quality of life, which can result in these other positive outcomes, other healthy behaviors, mental health, psychological resilience. And this study, these authors came up with some implications to quality of life. And they stated that there's a need to prioritize regular participation in physical activity, that it's part of a holistic approach in fostering the benefits of other healthy behaviors and mental well-being, and designing interventions that improve overall quality of life are needed. And lastly, number four, educating people about the advantages of exercise for mental health, for quality of life, and for other healthy behaviors is essential. So and I think those implications are important for us as prevention and substance use providers. How about exercise and tolerance and resilience? The study showed that regular physical activity, or PA, can positively influence negative emotional states, that resilience and exercise intensity tolerance can be achieved through regular physical activity, and this can prevent mental illnesses. In other words, regular physical activity can increase one's ability to tolerate exercise, and this can enhance resilience. And so the recommendation was the amount of physical activity should be incorporated into our curriculum and into sport clubs. Now, this study happened to focus on college students, so the recommendations for college students, but I think implications for younger students as well, that we should be integrating recommendations for physical activity into our curriculum, our educational curriculum, and particularly any kind of sport clubs and exercise opportunities. How about physical activity and psychological resilience in students? This study showed that first of all, this study reported that there's an increasing social stress, faster pace of life. Psychological resilience is the key attribute to address the fact that young people as well as adults are under greater amounts of stress today than perhaps in the past. And a significant correlation exists between physical activity and psychological resilience among young students. And so psychological resilience plays a promotional role in participation of students in physical activities and vice versa. Remember that bi-directional relationship. Resilience improves healthy behaviors like physical activity and other health behaviors can promote resilience among students. So that was some research looking at the relationship between physical activity, particularly regular physical activity, and resilience among youth and adults. So let me pause at this point and get your thinking. Do you have any creative ideas as to how we, as prevention specialists, can increase physical activity among youth and young adults? If you do, type that in. Type your creative ideas in. I'm going to pause at this point. If you have ideas for us, all of us as prevention specialists, how can we build in uh, an emphasis on physical activity? And let me pause. So if you have ideas, go to your chat space and type in your ideas now. Let's hear from you. Let's hear what you might have to say, what you think about this. How can we as prevention specialists integrate physical activity into our practice? So we already have Kevin talking about, yes, sleep is more important, and we'll talk about sleep, Kevin, here in just a minute. But you also say kids tend to get wrapped up in phones and tablets and games. And so there's a need to take a break from that. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Let's see. Other people are saying organize students versus organized students versus events. Somebody says games that include a physical element. Excellent. Somebody says, I'm not going to identify names because I don't want to butcher anybody's names. Take youth groups. Oops, so many answers, so many responses that jumped out of sight here. Take youth groups on hikes, nature walks, 15-minute breaks, daily stretching, excellent ideas. Create social media challenges for physical activities, super. Scavenger hunts, collaborate with schools, team sports. All of these are excellent, excellent ideas as to how we, as substance use prevention specialists, mental health specialists, can integrate regular physical activity and the importance of physical activity for our youth and our adults that we work with on a daily basis. These are great jump rope competition, structured activities, like morning warm-ups, really great ideas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can capture these ideas that you shared with us, and go ahead and keep sharing if you have some more ideas. Remember, what the question was is how can we as prevention specialists increase physical activity among the youth and the adults that we serve? If you have some more ideas on that, keep typing those in the chat space. Meanwhile, I'm going to proceed with discussing research associating resilience and nutrition. So first of all, resilience and nutrition. This study showed that a healthy diet, particularly nutritious breakfast, can significantly enhance resilience by positively impacting mood, number one, energy level, number two, three, cognitive function. So food insecurity and poor dietary choices increases stress and lowers resilience. And number three, here's some specific health behaviors and nutritional behaviors: higher fruit and vegetable consumption per day, more consistent breakfast, healthy breakfast, less frequent intake of soft drinks and takeaway foods, all significantly associated with both lower psychological distress and higher resilience. And there's a link to that particular study. How about food intake and resilience? Resilience was associated with overall better diet quality. Resilience should be considered in promotion of healthy dietary habits, or again, because of the bidirectional relationships here, dietary habits should be included to enhance resilience. How about dietary intake and resilience? Number 3. And this is was a study with university students, and the results were under number 2. Lower psychological distress was associated with higher fruit and vegetable intake, more frequent breakfast, less frequent soft drinks and takeaways, and the opposite was found. Higher resilience was associated with uh, more engagement of those health behaviors, fruit and vegetable consumption, um, breakfast, and less soft drinks and takeaway food. Now, I'm showing this because I think, why limit this information to military uh, personnel only? Well, let's take a look at it. There's implications for all of us, including our youth, and that is there has been a long history for centuries of focusing on nutrition in the military because it was important to resilience of our military forces. So the importance of diet and nutrition and readiness has been around for a long time. And dietary nutrients sustain health, they protect against illness, they promote resilience. And so the military is focused on improving the diet quality of their military personnel. And I think we should do the same for all of our citizens, particularly our youth. In fact, let's take a look at breakfast again. The relationship between breakfast and resilience is very strong. Research shows that a positive link exists between regular breakfast consumption, and that means not skipping breakfast, and psychological resilience, particularly in young people. So skipping breakfast linked to an increased risk for psychological issues, problems, including depression, stress, and anxiety. So let's pause once again and let's get your feedback. Let's get your creative ideas. We've got a lot of people on listening to this, so let's see what you can come up with for how we can, as prevention specialists, increase the healthy breakfast and other food consumption of the youth and the adults that we serve. So I'm going to go to and put your ideas into the chat space. I'm going to go to chat right now and see what your ideas are that you're coming up with. And again, we'll take time and take a couple of minutes for you to type in your responses. And so here they are. They're starting to come. Cooking classes, gardening, healthy cooking activities, model it. Love it. Meal preparation workshops. Don't forget shopping as well. Shopping for healthy foods, eating healthy foods, modeling, very important within the family, within the school, within the community. Working with schools to provide breakfast during homeroom. Excellent ideas. So wonderful. You guys are really coming up with some super ideas. And like I said, I'm going to try to capture all these ideas and turn them around and share them with all of you so you have some time to take a look at these and reflect on these. And these are all ideas that you're coming up with as to how we as prevention specialists can increase healthy breakfast and other foods among those youth and adults that we serve in our prevention settings, whether they're schools or communities. Food pantries, excellent. Meal prep, as was said, having healthy snacks available, healthy breakfast newsletters with recipes, all super, super awesome ideas. So I'm going to let you continue to share those ideas, and I'm going to move on to resilience and sleep. So sleep and resilience are closely linked, like these other behaviors, physical activity and nutrition. Sleep is also highly correlated with resilience. Sleep quality is an issue. Amount of sleep is an issue. Ability to cope with stress and bounce back from adversity requires adequate quality sleep. So this supports emotional regulation. Sleep supports cognitive functioning and the body stress responses are better dealt with when one has adequate sleep. And when one doesn't have sleep, when you're sleep deprived, that's when you lose your resilience. And so you sort of wonder about people that don't get adequate sleep and how they're able to do that. We sort of, there's almost a bias. I've noticed that, we sort of think, oh, some of our, people, celebrities or famous people or what, politicians or whatever, oh, they don't require much sleep. But then you have to really wonder, you know, uh, are they getting enough sleep so they have the resilience to be able to function properly? Anyway, something to consider. So these things are intertwined: sleep, wellness, and resilience. In fact, the relationship between sleep and resilience appears to be stronger for mental health than for physical health. So that mental health component really important, and that comes from sleep. So how about improving sleep and improving stress resilience? Resilience and stress are two opposing faces of the same coin. Both are deeply linked to sleep. Resilience on one side, stress on the other, both are linked to sleep. So sleep. It's a modifiable, modifiable behavior, just like physical activity, just like breakfast, just like other nutritional habits. They're modifiable behaviors, and that improvement might enhance resilience and reduce stress. Really important. How about sleep quality, wellness, and resilience? The study showed that sleep quality among college students was significantly positively correlated with resilience. Sleep quality was positively predictive of subjective well-being. So sleep quality can directly enhance subjective well-being and indirectly affect resilience. So we get, sleep among college students might likely improve well-being, quality of life, and that might then enhance resilience. Sleep resilience and mental health problems. Chronic sleep is a major risk factor for a number of mental health disorders. Good sleep promotes resilience to depression, anxiety. And so, again, um, stress and sleep is very important, particularly when we are experiencing the greatest amount of stress. So, sleep is good medicine for mental health. How about sleep resilience among adolescents? Sleep disturbances is a risk factor for adolescent mental health. Adolescent sleep disturbances and resilience influence each other over time. School interventions are called for sleep because it's crucial to improving adolescent resilience. So interventions in school, or I would say wherever adolescents are, really important. And that's why I'm bringing this up for us as prevention specialists to broaden our focus on other than just risks associated with substance use, which are so critical. Don't want to downplay that at all. But these other factors, these other health behaviors are influencing broader resilience and mental health of the youth, which is also our purview. It's also our focus. How about sleep, health, and resilience? Sleep is a built in biological source of resilience. I think that's great. Sleep is a built in biological source of resilience. So if you practice sleep, if you will, if you get sleep that's not disruptive, that can have a positive influence on your thinking, less depression, less anxiety, less emotional vulnerability. And number three is very important. That's why I italicized it. The first step to improve sleep is to improve sleep habits. So we need to break down sleep. What does it include? Lots of things, sleep goals, in terms of amount of sleep, the sleep setting, is it dark and quiet, setting a time to go to sleep on a regular basis, shutting off electronic devices. You can come up with a lot of things that are elements or components of or different types of sleep behaviors, which can lead to longer and better quality sleep. So let me pause again and see what you think we could do as prevention specialists to promote among our youth and our adults that we serve how we can get our audiences that we work with um, to increase their sleep and increase their quality of sleep. So go to the chat space once again, if you don't mind. Love to hear from you, what your thoughts are, what your creative suggestions are. I will capture them and share them with you. But let's take a look. Look at educate. Phones, devices need to be put away by a certain time. What is that certain time? Let them decide. Put away, meaning shut off, meaning lock up. What does that mean? The more specific, the more likely it is to be achieved, I think, and setting goals related to that also very good. Look at, here they come. Lots of good ideas to help find a routine that works for them. I do believe that that's very personal. So everybody has to have their own personalized bedtime routine, and getting used to think about that and plan that and set goals for that. Very, very important. And you guys are coming up with really good ideas. Look at real life situations, address those, show the real life situations and how lack of sleep can affect someone. I think that's very important so that they can see the importance for themselves, and steps to avoid to get adequate sleep. Limit caffeine, great example. And caffeine can be hidden in different kinds of drinks and foods. And in how long, what's the space between caffeine and sleep time? That's important. A wind down routine. I've got a, I've got a granddaughter who's going on 3, and wind down routine. I mean, it starts early in life, but it's critical throughout life. The other thing is she's riding around or running around having fun outside, and she runs into rose bushes, and she really handled it very well because I think she's already developing resilience. You know, her mom and dad are helping her, grandparents are helping her, yes, me a little bit too, but mostly Grammy, helping her develop resiliency. And it starts early. It should start early. You want to develop resiliency in your young age, starting from toddlers all the way through adolescents, young adults, adults. It continues. You want to have resilience because we need resilience because of the stress in our lives. So resilience is so important to deal with stress and to improve mental health. Great ideas you guys are coming up with. Thank you so much for participating. And let me now cover the last part of this, and that is relationship between resilience and what I say is, sort of a grab bag of meditation, relaxation, and related things. What's the relationship there? So meditation, mindfulness, relaxation, nomenclature. So this is a little bit confusing, but I've seen where meditation is considered a broader practice. And then within that, mindfulness is a specific type of meditation. I've also seen it the other way around. But just know that meditation and mindfulness, meditation practices, closing your eyes, focusing on your breathing, etc. It could be different practices. It could even include prayer, whatever. And then also being aware of the present moment, mindfulness. Those are all related practices, which could be considered relaxation, having time for relaxation or downtime. So relaxation and resilience are interconnected, just like physical activity, just like nutrition and breakfast, just like sleep. Same thing with relaxation and resilience, a vital role for overall well-being, I should say. So relaxation techniques such as mindfulness, deep breathing, all these walking in nature, listening to quiet music, having a quiet space to retreat to, taking a hot or cool shower or bath, whatever the strategy is, really important to developing resilience. So let's take a look at some of the research. Mindfulness, meditation, resilience. Practicing mindfulness can help regulate emotions. It can also reduce stress and enhance self-awareness. So mindfulness practices help cultivate resilience, I should say. And there it is. There's a link if you want to read more. Mindfulness, well-being, and resilience, or resilience again is resistance. So mindfulness mediates both psychological well-being and resilience among millennials, so young people. So mindfulness-based programs, according to this document, should be expanded to include all young people, teaching millennials a strategy or strategies to help them become more resilient and to address stress. So that was an NIH published research, and there's the link. How about resilience, stress, and happiness? Mindfulness is positively related to resilience and happiness, and it's negatively related to stress. So resilience is positively linked to happiness. So mindfulness may play an influential role in enhancing happiness through the mediation effects of resilience and stress. So all these different related factors, we talked about quality of life and some other things. Now we're talking about happiness. All these things seem to be linked in one way or another. But they're all linked to these healthy behaviors and resilience. The coronavirus disease, a 2019 COVID pandemic, caused unprecedented stress. And those who regularly practice mindfulness had lower levels of depression, higher levels of physical and mental health in this particular study. And so mindfulness practice increases resilience. So it's a buffer against stressors, including even pandemics. How about meditation and resilience again? Meditation causes an immediate enhancement of resilience that is sustainable. So meditation causes that. Now, meditation may be beneficial to individuals at high clinical risk. So I think meditation, relaxation is important for all of us. I think we're all have daily stress, but this study showed that maybe even particularly beneficial to those at the highest clinical risk for mental health problems. Meditation, resilience, and hope. Here's another factor, hope. So rising stress levels for students in the current era due to challenges such as competition and pressures to succeed. Resilience and hope are two powerful weapons. And meditation effectively enhances resilience and hope. So there's a link there between resilience and hope. A related factor or concept is self-care, a little bit broader concept, engaging in self-care activities. Self-care is broader. It includes things like taking time for hobbies, relaxation, social connection. All these things can help reduce stress and promote a sense of well-being, which strengthens resilience. And through, I should say, improving mood, building confidence, better managing of difficult situations. So self-care in a broader perspective, not just relaxation, but again, other things, social connections, hobbies, all really important to developing resilience and reducing stress. So last time I'm stopping, last opportunity for you all to participate and give your ideas as a prevention professionals. How can we, as prevention experts, specialists, increase meditation, mindfulness, relaxation among the youth or adults that we serve. What are your ideas? Let's take a look at some of them as they come in. Right now, let's take a look at some of these amazing ideas. You've had amazing ones in the past. Now, again, one more time, I'll say, I'm going to grab these ideas. Maybe I'll just send you the whole chat link, but maybe I'll cut and paste them. We'll see. But I'll send you some of these amazing ideas that you've been sharing among yourselves as to how we as prevention specialists can help our youth and our adult audiences, clients, improve their physical activity, improve their breakfast and nutrition, improve their sleep quality and quantity, and now engage in more relaxation, meditation, mindfulness, so that that will enhance their resilience, reduce stress, reduce mental health problems, reduce substance use, all connected in a holistic way. And so you can see these things, offering workshops and classes, teaching and practicing youth mindfulness and relaxation. I think that's a great prevention practice. Model, promote, fund mindfulness. Excellent examples, ideas. Start each class with mindfulness activity, calm, refocus. I think that's a fantastic idea. I mean, starting us as professionals, starting our day with that, sort of setting the tone, very important. And again, looking at this last topic in a very broad sense, there can be a lot of things we do in the heading of relaxation that we can promote among our audiences. So great examples here. Once again, teaching mindfulness, relaxation techniques. Again, great ideas. 5-minute method to just breathe. Mindfully breathe and enjoy that moment. Look at these examples. You guys are absolutely fantastic, amazing, and I'm looking forward to looking at all those and sharing all those ideas you had, and within those 4 healthy behavior settings. So let's conclude. Number 1, resilience. It's a protective health factor. It's a protective, particularly against mental health problems. It's positively associated with healthy behaviors, and it boosts wellness, and that's why it's critical for prevention and for all of our clients, all of our audiences that we work with. Healthy behaviors, particularly physical activity, breakfast and nutrition, sleep quality and quantity, and relaxation, meditation, mindfulness, all those things improve resilience, and they also result in other positive outcomes. We looked at the research, quality of life, perceived quality of life, self-efficacy, hope, on, and they reduce stress and mental health problems. So healthy behaviors directly associated with resilience. Lastly, specific strategies for us as prevention specialists that we can use to increase these healthy behaviors to enhance youth and adult resilience, mental health, physical health, performance, happiness. You guys generated those amazing ideas. I'm just going to call them and synthesize them, if you will, but at least group them and share them with you. So if you want to learn more, there'll be these links you can click on when you access the slides. If you do, check our latest news and blogs. We got great information, constantly posting things on our website, preventionpluswellness.com. So thank you so much for joining us. We're here to help you. Now, there's our website, preventionpluswellness.com. There's our phone number, 904-472-5022. Email me anytime at info@preventionpluswellness.com. Now, we've got a few minutes remaining. So if you guys have any other questions or comments, do me a favor, go to the Q&A and type those in now so that they're not mixed up with all the great stuff from the chat space. So go into the Q&A if you have any final questions or comments, but you're continuing to send great things out and great notes, and you're thanking everyone. So thank you all. God bless you all for participating and all you do for youth and for communities in your area. But if you do have a question or comment, one more thing you want to say, go to the Q&A. Let me see if I don't see no Q&A at this point. So I'm just going to wait another minute. We got 8 more minutes, so I'm happy to wait, but I don't want to take your time. Just wait another minute to see if anybody has any final statements or questions about this topic of resilience. I think it's an important one, but what I'll be doing again, once more, to remind you, I'll be posting this recorded webinar along with the slides, along with the CEU certificate, but also I'll be accessing all these wonderful ideas that you had as to how we as prevention specialists can help our clients increase those health behaviors and therefore positively influence resilience and mental health, which will help in the prevention and reduction of substance use and misuse as well. So no other comments. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. You'll be hearing from me. No need to reach out to me. I'll reach out to you. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Stay healthy. If we can help in any way, let me know. PreventionPlusWellness.com. Reach out to us there. Oh, one last thing. A Q&A. How will the slides be distributed? I'll send you a link, Mecca, and then you'll be able to go to the site and download the slides. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that question, Mecca. Thanks for everyone for participating in today's webinar.